Welcome to DCTV News, your source for stories that matter to students here at San Joaquin Delta College. I'm Lena Torrey.
And I'm Tyrone Marshall. This spring 2026 edition highlights real students' experiences, from navigating college life to finding purpose, passion, and community.
Thanks for joining us.
We begin right here on campus, where the community comes to life at the market at Delta, a local flea market and swap meet with something for everyone.
DCTV's Elton Soriano takes us there.
You can come to Stockton Con and pay top dollar for comic books, vinyl, all sorts of vintage toys, all sorts of retro video games. Or you can go to the market at Delta College, also known as the Delta College Swap Meet. Lots of vendors here, lots of stuff to get. We're gonna find some awesome stuff. Come on, let's go.
So my name's Eric Carey. I'm the auxiliary services lead out here at the market, the fabulous market that's been around for about 50 years or so. There's a vendor that's been here since his son was born. And his son's 46. So we're thinking around 50 years, but that's that obscure history that we're trying to, search back, and everybody has their version of it. It's one of those places where if you want to find things that you need, like from a day-to-day, you can find that. But if you're in discovery mode and you want to find something that that is different every day, if you go on the other side where there's more of a garage sale aspect, then that's where you're going to find things that you may not find everywhere.
I recommend coming to this swap meet because it just seems more like, I guess, more people friendly, and you got your diverse type of stuff here rather than going to like other ones. They always usually have the same type of items. Here it seems like there's more variety of things to look at.
As a fashion person, it's really nice to have all the tables that are like $1 for each piece of clothing. I have never come and not left with something cool. If you like thrifting or flea markets or just anything, you can find anything. Something for everyone.
Shadows of the Empire, very underrated game. The main guy is kind of like a Han Solo spinoff, but he's kind of cool. You get churros at the flea market, right there. My recommendation to get caramel and cream cheese filled in. Fire. You need toothpaste? They got it. You need toilet paper? They got it. Need new tires for your bike? They got it. You need a bike for those new tires you just got for your bike? They got it. Do you need Lord of the Rings memorabilia? They got it.
All right, let's try it. Very good. A lot of flavor. The meat's tender. Not overcooked at all.
So the office is the cottage right there on the corner, right across from Target. So that little cottage there, if you come there on a Saturday or Sunday from 5 in the morning, we're here early, okay? 5 to 9, you'll reach us. Also, you can just call us. It's 209-954-5560, or you can reach us online. It's market@atdelta.com. There's a tagline, basically, support the market, support Delta students.
Thanks, Elton. That's a great reminder of how campus spaces can bring people together. For many students, getting to campus is part of the journey.
Rashad Ramadan explores public transportation and what it means for students in his story on the bus.
Yo, these gas prices are totally ridiculous. So you know what? We're taking the bus. Let's go. Bus now. On our way to Joaquin. Ain't got to the first stop yet. So I'll get it. Only costs $150 to get on. So that's cool. That's way better than $5.99 a gallon. You know what I mean? For a gallon of gas. So shout out to San Joaquin County and the bus systems.
It's really affordable to take the bus. The daily passes are about $150 per person, which is pretty convenient and very affordable. I find the bus to be really reliable. You can check the ETA on your phone, which I think is pretty cool and convenient. Getting to my destination is simple because the bus drops you off right in front of the school, which is amazing because I don't even have to walk.
Thanks, Rashad. Transportation plays a bigger role in student success than many people realize. Our next story showcases that spring is a time of celebration.
Estella Berry shares the traditions and culture behind Thai, Cambodian, and Lao New Year celebrations.
My name is Brandon Yang. I'm an event coordinator for the EPIC program. The Thai Lao Cambodian New Year is a celebration for, again, the Thai and the Lao and the Cambodian people. It's usually their biggest festival of the year. This is kind of like their American Christmas. This will be my first year celebrating it. I believe this will be our first year celebrating it overall. We'll have activity tables that include learning about Thai culture, Laos culture, Cambodian culture, as well as just one of our main events we're having is we're playing 3 classic games. I feel like one of the biggest things that make me feel engaged as a student on campus is when I'm being represented. And I feel like, especially for our Thai, Lao, and Cambodian students, they're going to be feeling represented when they walk on campus and see that we're celebrating the Thai, Lao, Cambodian New Year.
What a vibrant celebration. Thanks, Estella, for highlighting the diversity of our campus community. For many students, coming back to school can feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to finances.
Adrian Villalobos takes a closer look at federal work study and how students are finding ways to pay for college.
Hi, I'm Adrian Villalobos, and I'm part of the digital media program here at Delta College. And today I want to talk about the process of applying and getting positioned in federal work study. So let's get to it. There are 3 main ways to get started with federal work study. The first one is to head to the Delta College Student Connect Center. And to get there is from the Delta's main entrance. It will be the building to your right. So as you're walking down, you just head down the path and it will be the building to your right. You go ahead, walk through the parking lot, or just head all the way and go towards your right, and it will just be the building. Just go and find the doors and you can walk in. And if you're entering through a car, you go in the main entrance, turn to your right, and you go head into the parking lot towards your left. And the financial aid room is, as when you walk through the main doors, it will be the room to your right, and it will be in that room. And the Student Connect Center, I feel like it's a good way to start because I feel like it's also a good place to get familiar with the building and what it offers, because you could also get help with your financial aid in general. So they could help you fill out, apply, and read the whole process of that. But also they could help you with the federal work study. And also, it's a good way to make an appointment and meet with your counselor. So if you have any question about anything else, the Student Connect Center is the way to go. The second way to get started with federal work study is on the Delta College website. Head to San Juan Key Delta College and the main website, and you go head to the search bar and you could type in federal work study, and then options will show up. You could look through all of them, and the main ones to look for is to see what positions are available. And you can see all the courses, all the departments, and even the Student Connect Center itself that kind of accepts general helpers of federal work study students to help out in the department. So if you don't have a course in mind, you could also work in other departments, even the bookstore, and just helping out in the staff. Also, the website is a good way to find the supervisor of federal work study, which is Alma Ponce. Her email is there, so you'll give her a quick message, and so she could give you a little bit more information of how to get started with federal work study. The third and final way is to ask your professor themselves. They will most likely maybe will need some helpers, and they could help you get started and direct you the right direction to get started with federal work study. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk to a student and see how was her experience with the process of her federal work study.
My experience for applying to work study was like between easy and hard because it took a little bit to be able to get the tests and the paperwork all done, but then once everything was in, it took like maybe a week or two to finish, so it was like in between fast and slow, I guess. Like it's a better alternative because there's more interaction and because you're able to like interact with students or like the professors and everything. Yes, I'm enjoying it. Everyone's been super nice and it's been cool to like learn everything. It's sometimes hard to be able to balance work study in my classes, but otherwise, like maybe I fell like a day behind one time, but otherwise it's been pretty easy to be like keep up with it and everything. But I didn't really look at federal work study. I didn't know what federal work study was until I had messaged Professor Broker and found out everything about it. So I first emailed Professor Broker, and then I was in contact with her, and then I got in contact with people that were in charge of the whole federal work study, and then I had to get a TB test and then fingerprinting, which took like a week or two to come back, and then I had to wait for all of that, and I filled out paperwork, did lots of online paperwork, there was multiple things I had to fill out, and I filled those out, and then we all sent those to HR to look over, and then I was approved like a month or two after I applied to be able to work for her. I emailed her last November, I think, and then I started the application either December or January, I think I started everything, and then it took January, February, and then I started end of March, I think, or middle of March, end of March.
So that's it. So that's the process of how to get federal work study here at Delta College. This has been Adrian. I hope this has helped some of you who has been interested in federal work study, because it's a quite convenient way to be able to work and study in the same location. Thank you.
Important information there. Financial support can make all the difference.
Once you're in school, meeting basic needs is just as important.
DCTV's Adan Ramirez shows us how the student pantry is helping students access food and essential resources.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Suarez, and I'm a student here at San Joaquin Delta College, and I also work as a general helper inside the student food pantry. The student food pantry has been giving assistance long before my time here. I've been here since the 2020 during the pandemic, and the student food pantry was open, but I think it was March of 2019 that it started. The student food pantry is only for currently enrolled students at Delta College. You must be currently and actively taking at least one credit, to be able to utilize the food pantry. Students are able to come into the food pantry at least just one time a week, and we're open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so you can come in, fluctuate those days anytime. It doesn't have to be the same day every week, but you're able to come in and utilize your 16 points. The student food pantry does not run on income or any type of income bracket. Every student who comes here and is taking one unit is able to shop.
Hello, my name is Kohinoor Kaur and I'm a general helper in the food pantry. The pantry provides grab-and-go items, canned foods, dinner servings. We also provide food to the students who are having religious or dietary restrictions, such as keto-friendly, paleo, pescatarian, vegan, and gluten-free. So, and every student who is enrolled in Delta College can use the food pantry irrespective of their nation, origin, or caste, anything. So international students can also use the food pantry. Thank you.
A vital resource for so many students on campus. College isn't just physically demanding, it can also take a toll mentally.
In this next story, Karen Takahashi explores how students are managing stress and prioritizing mental health.
Hi, my name's Isaac. I'm a senior at Delta and I'm studying physics and I'm minoring in political science or language. So Delta's allowed me to explore physics in a variety of ways, but when I first came to Delta, I didn't actually know that I wanted to major in physics. During my first club rush, I was introduced to a physics, math, and computer science club. And there I actually found that I had a very strong passion for all things computer science, like math, and natural science, but I realized that they really intersected in physics. And on the physics board of the L2 project that we were completing, I found that this was something that I actually wanted to major in and pursue in life. So Delta's club experiences were the first way that I was able to explore my interest. And then I found that some of the harder upper division courses later on were definitely aided by the fact that there were so many resources around me to be able to help me solve problems that I found extremely difficult. So the Math and Science Tutoring Center was definitely one of those places, because there are people who had actually taken the classes that I had and had struggled with the same exact problems that I had because they'd taken the same professor. And it was there that I met so many of the friends that I'm probably going to be going to college with next semester, and that I actually found myself able to succeed in the classes that I took later. So although I was in a ton of clubs, and that is obviously one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give, I would definitely say to take advantage of the other resources that you have here. And I mean the tutoring centers and the library, but most importantly, your classmates and your professors. Your classmates are one of the greatest resources you have, because ultimately they're the network that you're going to build in your career and with the rest of schooling that you do. So I would definitely say make sure that you meet a lot of different people and always take advantage of the opportunities that you find with them, be it your professors or teachers or your family members, and make sure that in some way you're really building the network that's going to help you succeed in the future. And if anything, Delta is one of the strongest catalysts, if not the strongest catalysts, that have helped me decide where I want to go to college and what I want to pursue in life.
Taking care of your mental health is just as important as your academics. Sometimes you just need a break from school.
The following story, Uriel Mendoza dives into the world of vinyl collecting, a hobby that's making a comeback.
Hello, my name is Uriel Mendoza. I am a multimedia student at Delta College, and I'm also a vinyl collector. I started collecting vinyl about 4 years ago now. My first record that I ever bought was Vessel by 21 Pilots. It was a record that I really liked at the time, and I was a huge 21 Pilots fan, so I thought it was an obvious choice to buy. And it was just something that I had access to at the time, because it was available at Walmart. Where do I buy my vinyl? I usually buy them online, I will say. I'd have to admit, I do buy most of mine online, because in the 209, there isn't a whole lot of record stores. We need more record stores here. Like the closest one I know of is Mad Monk in Modesto, which is a 45-minute drive for me. So it kind of has to make it like a whole thing if I do ever want to go there. And as far as like websites go where I buy mine, Discogs is a great option. You could sell vinyl, you could buy vinyl, you could take track of like what collections you have. And then also like the artist websites. So let's say there's an album releasing anytime soon. You could check out the artist website. They're probably selling it on there for pre-order. Same with like Turntable Labs is another good one. You could probably find some good ones there. And then there's always the retail stores. So like Walmart, Target, they both have some. Best Buy also have some. Their selection isn't the greatest because, you know, Best Buy, they're not gonna have a whole lot there. Some advice that I give to new record collectors would be really do your research before you buy a turntable or speakers, because the portable Victrola ones, they're not the best. Over time, they do damage your records, so I wanna just point that out. So if you ever wanna take vinyl collecting serious, really invest and do your research on what you want as for a record player. The one I have is a U-turn turntable. It cost me about $250 at the time. It might be more now because it was 4 years ago, inflation and stuff. It's handcrafted. It's amazing. I love it. Same with the speakers. I bought them at the same time. I think they came out to $150. So yeah, really do your research. And as far as like the vinyl go, I'd say buy anything you like. Do it. It's awesome. I love them. You can never have too much, even if your family says you do. Really do your research on how to take care of them because they're quite sensitive. It doesn't look like it, but it's just a big piece of plastic. They're kind of sensitive. And you can't keep them too hot as well because they do warp over time if it gets too warm and stuff like that. So just do your research and you're golden, really.
A great reminder to make time for the things you love. Passion can also turn into a career.
Nathan Saavedra introduces us to the art of floristry and what it takes to succeed in the industry.
Hi, my name is Flora Manriquez. I am the owner of La Floral, and I'm the floral designer. You can find my work in different platforms on social media, which would be Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube. My original plan was to be a business owner. I always knew deep down in my heart I was going to be a business owner. It was just whether to choose floral industry, cosmetology, food / restaurant, you know. And luckily I went with floral design, and it was the best decision of my life. The pros and cons of my industry, I would say the pros is being able to express myself through my art, through flowers, express my emotions, or bring other people's emotions to life through my art. The cons in my industry, yes, it's mainly the high demand during Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. It's a very high demand during those two main floral season holiday for us, as well as not a lot of people know, but our flowers do have lots of chemicals and pesticides during the farm when they grow them and stuff for no bugs and other stuff, and it could potentially put our health at risk. That is why you will see me wear gloves when I'm processing my flowers and designing. Another con would be, it's not always wins. Sometimes there's losses. Another big con is that when we're processing our flowers due to the shipment, because our flowers do come from out of the U.S. and within the States too, the United States, but when we're processing them, we do find that some flowers, the stems are broken, the flower head is broken as well, or even the petals don't last through the shipment. So we do have waste in our inventory, and it's something we don't always tell people or people don't assume, but yeah, sometimes flowers don't make it to the designing part. Something that keeps me going is mainly my clients. I think not just through the profit or money, it's really seeing the smile on people's faces, whether it's doing a special delivery or the client themselves picking up what they ordered. That smile means everything to me because it translates into positive emotions, happiness, excitement, and just seeing that makes me happy, and it actually makes me proud of myself, and I continue to do this with love, passion, and care. Something else I would like to add on to anybody watching this is to continue to be yourself, your authentic self. Always pursue what you love, and it will come to life. You get to manifest your dream life, your goals, through just being yourself. And when you actually follow who you are, follow your dreams and goals, you get to not only do projects, right? Because I want to present this as a project I did my senior year when I took a floriculture elective class. And it was once just on piece of paper, is now been here for 6 years. My ultimate goal these past 6 years and the next are really to continue bringing not just happiness, but bringing the community together through flowers, whether it's your family members, celebrations, and to also continue to make hearts bloom.
That's a creative path with real opportunities. And if you're feeling inspired,
Jocelyn Flores takes us to the spring plant sale, where students in the community can bring a little greenery into their lives.
Hello, I'm Jocelyn Flores reporting from the Horticulture Center at San Joaquin Delta College. And today, as you can see, it is a plant sale. So for all the lovers of gardening in springtime, this is a great place to shop. This is the second sale of the season, and there'll be one more sale happening May 8th.
As the weather warms up in Zone 9B, all the gardeners in the know are heading to the San Joaquin Delta College plant sale. Horticulture students have been busy since January, seeding, stratifying, and starting all manner of plants for local gardeners and the culinary program. The sale provides real deals for budget-conscious gardeners and learning opportunities for students seeking a career in horticulture.
I love supporting everything that not only our students do, but that the Horticulture Center and Club and everyone involved does. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. What better way to spend a Friday in spring than coming here?
We just wanted to come over and see what you guys are offering and supporting our programs and our students in Delta College.
Today's plant sale included a nature walk of California natives around the campus.
And it's right behind us. And so Populus Fremontii, these three tall, upright.
Cali natives, in my opinion, are the easiest to grow if you're in California. And any of these native plants, once they establish, once you give them a little water and they soak up a little bit of nutrients, they connect to the soil around them, and then they just grow vigorously. It depends what kind of style you're looking for.
All shoppers were gifted a sunflower from the campus farm called Mustang Acres.
It's really nice in the morning when we get to wake up and put the lights on after our animals try to wake us up for food. If you have a cat, you know what I mean. But it's turning the lights on for them and just seeing the little growth day by day. It means so much because you kind of apply that to your own life in a way when you're sitting there looking at them.
Full-time faculty and horticulture students are on hand to provide recommendations for new and experienced gardeners.
For first-time people planting for the first time, I recommend tomatoes. There's so many varieties of them, and also they're really good in the California weather. And my favorite plant, it would be a snapdragon. I personally love dragons, and also just really beautiful plants separate from that.
The first plant I would recommend growing is a pepper plant. It's extremely easy, it is bountiful, and they are delicious.
So the first plant I would recommend to a first-time grower is probably a sage of any type. My favorite sages are probably pineapple sage, purple sage, and black sage. They all grow great in California. They all grow great where we are, and they're super easy to take care of. So that's a good first plant. And then my favorite plant ever is the Prida Madeira. It's not a native, but it grows very well. It's very naturalized, and the blooms on it are huge. It attracts so many butterflies and bees, and especially the native bees, they enjoy it. So that's why I still support it, not just the honeybees, but all the carpenter bees, all the tiny bees. They love it.
The horticulture department hosts several plant sales every semester. This one is the second one. The last one will be May 8th. I'm Jocelyn Flores, your roving DC News reporter.
A perfect way to connect creativity with sustainability. Finding your path isn't always easy.
The next story follows Sierra King's journey of discovering her interest in nursing and pushing through challenges. DCTV's Addison brings us the story.
My name is Sierra. My major is health sciences. I'm planning on going into registered nursing, and my age is 20. I'm currently taking chemistry 3A, which is a prerequisite for nursing, the nursing program. I've always wanted to be a nurse, but I've been focusing more on the business side of healthcare until, a traumatic family event. My father was in the hospital for a couple of months, and then just really getting to see the behind the scenes of what healthcare workers do. That really just solidified that I appreciate what they do and I want to do it too. At Delta, I took their certified nursing assistant program. At first I didn't want to take it. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know what it was. But my mom, was looking through some programs at Delta. She was like, Sierra, why don't you do this? It's only 2 months. I was like, I might as well try it. Why not? So I tried it. I really loved it. When we got there, then you really got to put everything into action. Everything you were learning in skills lab, all of that. It was a really great experience, I feel like. And it prepared me for what I'm doing now for work. So I currently work at the hospital in Stockton as a student nurse extern. Like as mentioned before, I'm taking chemistry 3A. So when I'm at work, just catching up on my patients, getting the full story, full picture. I'll look at what medications they're on, what medications they're taking, what they're about to be given. A lot of what I was learning, I'm able to apply at work. Like I'm able to think, okay, this medication is mixed with this and this. I learned that in chemistry. I always appreciated how, I feel like Delta has a really good system. Whatever they're doing with picking, whatever professors they're getting, in the school, they're doing a great job. But the professors, at least that I've taken, they just get it. They understand us students. They've been in our shoes. So I feel like they have a better understanding and have more compassion for us students. And when the professors are like that, it makes your experience, not only in their class, but in the school, much more smoother, which I appreciate. To sum it up, Delta is a big part of my life. And, me finding a career, me being able to pursue my goals, Delta is a big part of that because the classes I've taken, the programs I'm going to take there, it's going to make my dreams come true. They're going to make it to where I can get where I want to be as a registered nurse and go far.
A powerful story about resilience and growth. Giving back is another important part of student life.
This next story is mine. I chose to highlight the Puffy Project, a community-focused effort for animal lovers.
My name is Grace, and I'm one of the owners here. And Puffy's has been around for 5 years. But what is Puffy's? I think Puffy's for me is that scene in Willy Wonka when everyone walked into the chocolate room and it was just full of surprises.
What does it mean to be a 509-2A?
Our category for our giving as a 509-2A is that we're set up as a profit retail store, but proceeds, a certain percentage of our proceeds goes to our nonprofit, the Puffy Project. So every month after we pay our four-wall expenses, a portion of that money goes into the Puffy Project, where 100% of the Puffy Project funds, we purchase dog food, pet food, any supplies needed to care and maintain a dog. What really drives the Puffy Project is a story of an unhoused man who his last meal was 10 days ago. And someone bought him a sandwich and he took 2 bites of his sandwich and gave the rest to his dog. Because to him, that dog was more important than himself. We work with San Joaquin County Human Services, the outreach team. When that team goes into the unhoused camps to provide services, mental health, medical services, transitioning, housing, they take our food with them and they give that dog food to people that are living in that camp. And then any stray dogs you see, those dogs are being fed.
Is there any specific way people can donate?
Yes, we are a 100% donation-based store. And, you know, the way we ask for certain things are kind of unique. We rather have things donated and come in. We take donations Wednesday through Saturday at our back door from 11 to 4 p.m. We also, our other special donation we love is maybe pet food or dog food that your pet did not like. We ask to tape it up and bring it in because when a dog is hungry, they'll eat anything.
Is there any social media platforms people can find you guys on?
Yes, you know, coming from a marketing background, we wanted to keep things simple and let puppies grow organically. And a lot of our customer base is word of mouth. Someone comes in and they have a great experience and then they want to come back with a friend. But the best way to learn more about us is on Instagram. We're at Puffies2210. And then also on Facebook, Puffies Thrift Mercantile. And hopefully in the months to come, we can develop TikTok stories and be able to further our market.
Thanks for that story, Lena. That was cool.
Thank you. It's nice to shop when there's a good cause to support. College is also about finding your direction.
Jesus Canella shares a story about discovering purpose and carving out a path forward.
Hi, my name is Karthikeyan KR. This is my second year and very last year at Delta College, and I am a digital media major. I chose Delta College because I was really interested with film and I wanted to pursue that kind of career. And while I was talking to one of my teachers, she's a digital photography teacher. Her name is Carol Creighton. She's my mentor and my well-wisher. One day I told her that I wanted to get into film when I finished my high school and my college, and she suggested me to go into Delta because she suggested that Delta College has a great digital media center, and they give you an exposure into audio production, video editing, the kind of multimedia aspects that you could do, and she was one of the reasons why I joined here. And also my dad also suggested I could pursue college here at Delta. My piece of advice that I would give to anyone is be patient, 1. 2, be ready to accept any kind of opportunities that you get, and 3, have the best times of your life. Whenever you come here into Delta College, especially D Media, I have had the 2 best years of my life over here, and I don't know if I could recreate it in the future, but I've got some best friends, best teachers, especially Professor Broger and Leo, and I had a great experience. So have the best time of your life out here, enjoy, be patient, because it is time consuming as well. So yeah, that's my piece of advice.
Every journey looks different, and that's okay. Small businesses are at the heart of our community.
Liz Bova introduces us to Nancy's Nails, a local business built on years of dedication and hard work.
My name is Nancy Brevis, and my title is, I'm actually a manicurist. I'm also a CMT, which is a certified massage therapist, and I'm the owner, operator of the business.
What's the name of your business?
Nancy's Nails. Well, I originally got into being a manicurist kind of by a fluke. I was waiting to go to school to be a radiologist technician, and when I was working over in this area or living over in Stockton area, I was working over in Walnut Creek, and they had an accelerated program here. So when I came here and was waiting to go to school, which was actually a lottery, I used to do nails for myself and my girlfriends in high school and really liked it. So I thought, oh, well, that would be a fun job to do while I'm going to school. I could work at night, work on weekends, and make my own money, and then also go to school. Well, once I started my business and gained a clientele, my goal was to move actually back to the Bay Area where I was from, and just life in general. And then it's hard I had a second job on the weekends, and just living life. And my business, I kind of grew my business pretty quickly, so it's easier to build and stay than to rebuild and start in a new area. So. Being self-employed and employed for yourself is definitely the number one. Although at times I do miss just going in and working for someone and coming home and not having to think about it. But also within my business, when I leave here, the only thing I worry about is my building and my business and things like that. I don't worry about what's going on or drama and other things with other coworkers. Even though I have people that rent stations from me, they're pretty self-sufficient on their own, trustworthy, and I don't have an overabundance of people that I have to worry about. Well, I think you have to, like any job, I think you have to find your passion. This was a passion of mine when I was younger, and I didn't think it would be a passion of mine for a lifestyle to work in it. But once I did and I loved it, I think that's the biggest thing or draw for any job. And I would suggest that if you're artistic or you like to be social, some people, sometimes it gets a little hectic. But I think that's probably the draw is just for anything, being self-employed or working for someone, is make sure that it's your passion and that you really love to do it and be the best at it that you can be. And always educate yourself or feed more into what you're doing for your business. But other than that, I think, like anything, like I said before, is finding your passion for what you do. I've been doing this, and I'm coming on 39 years. So it was, like I said, not something that I thought I would do for a living. Has it been a very good living? I've met great people. My clients are like my family. People that I work with are just like family. So I think that's most important, where a lot of times when you're with work for companies, you get, you work in your cubicles, or so many people work at home now that you don't have the social interaction. I think that's also the other flip side of the good side of it, is the social aspect of it.
A great example of entrepreneurship in action.
Music is another powerful way to connect culture and community.
This next story explores the history of mariachi and highlights local performers keeping the tradition alive.
Mi nombre es Zacarías Ernesto Valencia. I got into mariachi because I just love the music. It's a part of my heritage from being Mexican. I want to say, in general, playing mariachi music, I've been doing this since actually the 8th grade. But I want to say by myself with my friends for like a year now.
Hello, my name is Salvador Rivera. I got into mariachi back when I was in high school. We had an orchestra class, and at the end of orchestra class, we would bring out the mariachi instruments and have a concert with the orchestra, and that's what really brought my attention to mariachi. Of course, I've heard of it before, but that's what kind of got me into playing mariachi. After high school, coming to Delta, I found out about the mariachi, and I just kept playing there, and that's how basically I got into mariachi. going from there, trying to look for gigs and just put ourselves out there.
An inspiring look at culture through music.
As we wrap up, we take one more look at what it means to return to school and start fresh.
This is my wife's back-to-school story and the motivation it takes to keep going.
My name is Marcy Marshall. I originally attended Delta College in 1990 through about 1995. My husband inspired me to return to Delta College to complete my degrees that I never completed because he's been going to school and has earned his degrees and certificates. The most rewarding part about going back to school is that I have been pushing myself to limits that I didn't think that I could do, working and going to school at the same time and completing statistics. I wasn't sure that I could do it, but I did it with an A. It doesn't matter how old you are. Don't be afraid to chase your dreams. It's never a waste of time to invest in yourself. Another very inspiring thing for me with coming back to Delta College has been being a part of the family of the digital media department, even though I'm not a digital media major. My husband is, and the department is amazing. Professor Broger and Leo, everybody in the department is just amazing and wonderful. They made me feel like I was a student and part of the digital media department, even though I wasn't even going back to school yet at that time. It's just amazing. So if anybody is interested in digital media, our digital media department at Delta College far exceeds anything that you can imagine.
That's it for this spring 2026 edition of DCTV News.
We hope these stories give you insight, inspiration, and a deeper connection to our campus community.
If you have a story idea or want to get involved, reach out to us on social media at DMediaSJDC.
Thanks for watching.